Hi guys, what is going on? Welcome to the video and welcome to the next fusion coming up on Monday, everybody. Very interesting fusion in my opinion. I don't know if you've seen all the videos or some of the videos. I guess nobody has seen all of them. But I feel like this is an interesting fusion and it made me wonder if I might want to go for it, even though I'm really saving resources for Leonardo. And the guaranteed event that's coming up at the beginning of next month, at least we all hope that. That being said, if it isn't with the shards, I'm really going to be angry. I've been saving so hard. Like I have spent resources nowhere. I haven't spent a single ancient shard. By the way, this fusion is going to be 2 times ancients, which is nice, generally speaking. But yeah, whether or not I want to talk about whether or not to go for him, especially looking at the Leonardo event. And I also just want to talk about his kit, and I want to talk about my plan that I have on my channel, because I have been saving up resources, but I am early game, mid game-ish, and that means getting resources is relatively hard. Also, this fusion is going to be a regular fusion, so 16 rares, 4 epics, a lot of brews, a lot of champion training. And then we can fuse Granyt, the doorkeep. A lot of things to consider, but let's talk about the kit first, and then I'm going to give you my full opinion on the champion and whether or not it might be worth it to go for him and whether or not I can recommend to go for him in early game and mid game. All right, first up, attacks one enemy 3 times, A1. Each hit 100% when booked to remove a random buff from the target. That's a great A1. Also, each hit ignores 20% of the target's defense. The damage tests on him have been done. The A1 hits pretty hard. It hits pretty hard, especially because the passive helps as well. Increases this champion's damage inflicted against targets with no buffs on them by 20%. So chances are you might remove 1 or 2 buffs and then you'll get extra damage as soon as all buffs are removed. Also, he brings you block buffs. That also means that the chance of the enemies having no buffs is pretty high. Strong A1, especially like if we compare this to Rasen. I've made a video about Rasen. This A1 is so much stronger, so similar to Rasen's, but so much better. Please, Plarium, buff Rasen. Side note done. Strong A1. A2 attacks all enemies. Before attacking, places increased accuracy. Nice. Has a 75% chance, 100 when booked, to place decreased defense and block buffs on all enemies for 2 turns. That is Ugo right there. Only on a legendary champion. That's a super strong skill. We also get increased accuracy and he places it on himself before attacking. Always look for the phrasing. That's very nice. Great ability. Doesn't hit very hard though. It's the weakest of his damage abilities. And then we have the A3, which hits bonkers hard. Before attacking, attacks one enemy before attacking, removes all debuffs from this champion. That can be very nice. And then places a shatter and a crit damage buff on all allies. Now, shatter and crit damage. I guess I'm going to read the skill to the end first. Will ignore unkillable stone skin block damage buffs. If the target is not under any unkillable stone skin block damage buff, this attack deals 100% more damage. Grants an extra turn if this attack kills an enemy. Now, that is insane. Like, let me break this down a bit. Like I said, the damage tests have been done. And the extra damage you get from attacking enemies without stone skin block damage and unkillable is crazy. That is almost a definite kill, depending on your gear, but it is very likely going to be a kill, and that means an extra turn. Now, if we have stone skin block damage and unkillable out there, this can still kill the enemy, but it's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed. It very much depends on your gear. That being said, it is still a great ability, especially because we get 2 buffs. Shatter buff means ignore defense on all allies, and then increase damage as well, which is all right. 4-turn cooldown, 3-turn if you get an extra turn. Strong skill, but not as amazing as it would have been if we got different utility, at least for me personally. I'll talk about that in the end. At the start of this champion's passive, at the start of this champion's turn, removes fear, true fear, provoke, stun, freeze, sleep, petrification debuffs from this champion. And then, like I said, the damage increase when he attacks enemies with no buffs. Now, this is great for Rena, it's great for Hydra. He can't be true feared in Hydra. No cooldown as well. can be very useful in other areas as well. Overall, I'm not gonna lie, he really made me think if I want to go for him. Like, he really made me struggle. He is a great champion. So let's really talk about his utility now. And well, I guess you kind of might have noticed already that I'm probably not gonna go for him from the way I've been talking, and I'm gonna go through that now. Increase accuracy, like this A2 is amazing. Decrease defense and block buffs, that's super great. Luckily, I saw a video where a content creator said that he's a bad affinity for Hydra. That wouldn't be too much of a problem for me, but it's just, you know, a little nuance. Also, Ugo gives you this ability without the increased accuracy, but it's the least important part. Ugo gives you this ability without being a legendary champion, without needing legendary books. So I would actually prefer to have Ugo over Granyt, because this skill is like Ugo, and this skill, the A3, does not do all that much for me personally. It might do more in late game, but it doesn't do all that much in early game, because shatter buff on allies and increased crit damage, I'm not relying on pure damage to do damage in Hydra, and also not in other places. I'm relying on HP burn mostly. And in Arena, he might be nice, but I'm not going to choose him over the turtles, most likely. He would be in tag team Arena for me, yes. He would be in my Hydra team, 100%. But the legendary books I really need for other champions. I haven't booked Mikey yet. I'm going to get Leonardo. And I'm really like, I would prefer to get Ugo. The A1 is great, yes. He has super nice utility in between the lines, you know, that he removes all debuffs from him with the A3, and then also he is immune to Fear True, Fear Provoke. That's super great. He doesn't do great damage in Hydra though, so for Hydra he's mostly a utility champion, and his A3 is mostly for Arena, which I don't value that highly. And like I said, the A2 is great. He would help my account, but at what cost? At what cost? And that is the big problem with this early game account, this mid game account that I'm currently on. I have 11 sacred shards, but only because I got one more sacred shard today from Clan Boss, and Clan Boss has been pretty dry the last week. I didn't get anything else except for that sacred shard. Legendary tomes, yes, but that's not important for the Leonardo fusion or for the Leonardo guaranteed event or the Granyt fusion. And so what I'm trying to say is really look at what this champion can actually do for your account. Because I felt like when I looked at his kit, I felt like, damn, I need to go for him. I need to go for him. That's super unfortunate, because it really puts me in a difficult spot resource-wise. And then I thought, but what does he actually give me? What does he actually give my account? Most useful Hydra, utility champion for Hydra. That is what he would be, mostly. But I am at a very comfortable spot for Hydra right now. I can do 2 chests each week, so I can finish the 2 easiest stages for Hydra and get in total 4 chests each week. And that means I'm working towards Mithrala at a very decent pace, and I'm very happy with that. So there is 2 main reasons for me not to go for the fusion. The first is definitely the Leonardo guaranteed event that's hopefully coming up. If I wasn't going for that, I might lean more towards getting Granyt. He is a great champion, so check if you want to go for Leonardo or not, and do consider that in your decision. Also, I am quite happy to have a bit of downtime from Raid, still playing it, but these fusions can always be stressful. I would really have to do some resource management again, and I'm not really looking forward to that, you know. So a lot of stuff going on in my private life as well, you know, just stuff to do in general. And so it is, as much as it is a resource decision looking at the game, it's also a resource decision looking at myself. Just generally, you know, always prioritize private life. That being said, he is a great champion. If you want to go for him, if you have the resources, do so. I feel like he is going to have good utility, not just in Hydra, but in many places. We don't need to talk about potion keeps and stuff like that, because he's great there as well. Fire Knight viable. Overall, he's going to have great utility. Guys, you could even use him in Clan Boss. Guys, that's going to be it for the video. Thanks a lot for watching. I'm very interested in your thoughts on him. Are you going for him? Are you not going for him? Do you disagree with my evaluation? I hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you on the next one. Until then.